everyone. I hope my voice is loud and clear right now, and hope you have taken your short break as well. We have now reached the final session of today's festival, and it's going to be a very interactive Ask Me Anything. So, once I initialize the conversation, you can please raise your hands in the Zoom, and I can ask you to unmute yourself, and you can so that you can directly ask your questions to the speaker for that. All right, now it's now a pleasure to welcome our next speaker, and uh, thank you so much, Tapojoy, for making yourself available for these discussions today. A quick intro about him: Tapojoy is the Vice President of Product Management at Wonder, where he's helping shape the future of consumer experiences through AI-powered products. Now, over the course of his career, he has held product leadership roles at companies including Amazon and Swiggy, contributing to product used by millions of people. So I would rather say billions of people in that way. And leading teams through multiple waves of product innovation. Beyond building products, Tapojoy is passionate about mentoring product professionals and has spoken extensively about building successful careers and developing a product mindset and embracing AI as a catalyst for innovation and growth. Today, he'll be joining us for an Ask Me Anything on career advice for AI product leaders, where he will explore careers, leadership, hiring portfolios, and what it takes to build and grow AI first product teams. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Tapojoy Chatterjee. Thank you so much, Tapojoy, for making yourself available today.
Thank you, Vishal, and those were extremely kind words. And the stressful part is correct. in There is a lot of stress in life in terms of work, but
Oh,
yeah, it's fun and obviously it's. I think the beauty of product management is when you see something getting built, it outlasts you. It outlasts your career, and there's nothing more than that. Like I know I've moved on from Amazon and Swiggy, but I still see the products getting being used by millions of people across the world. So yeah, very, very grateful to have this career, and thank you again for those beautiful and kind words.
thank you. Thank you so much, Tapojoy. Tapojoy, so basically, it's an Ask Me Anything. And I really like, apart from fireside chat, I really like to have this AMA session where it helps me to build more, kind of a thought process system nodes in my own brain to understand what someone is going through, and, how we are improving our thought process of product and AI career as thought process in that way. So, having said that, my first question, Tapojoy, which I was thinking to ask you is, AI has changed almost every stage of the product life cycle, from
Hmm.
discovery and design to development and experimentation. As someone who has built product across a different organization, what's the biggest shift you have personally experienced in the way AI products are designed today and compared to just a few years ago? Over to you, Tabajoy.
So I'll answer it in different forms. So there are certain roles in the world of product management where AI is the enabler. For example, AI has always been there in the world of customer experience. I know today we talk about Gen AI, but machine learning has been there for 10, 15 years. Like you open Amazon, you open any e-commerce app in the world, you will see personalized for you, recommended for you, ranking. And historically, that has been the primary uh, usage of AI in a large scale in an e-commerce. Obviously, there are multiple areas, but that's been the primary large scale. So when I look at the consumer application or people who work in the consumer app, like a PM for the homepage or ads or any of that, most of their roles have evolved in a way where a lot of the time taking activities that they would spend earlier has become faster. For example, let's take an example of somebody who's the PM for an ads in an e-commerce app. She
Hmm.
will go ahead. Earlier, she would spend a lot of time doing analysis, sometimes running her own queries to get what is working, what is not working, where is the ad showing, where is the ad not showing. That gets done in sometimes 90 minutes with the help of a cloud desktop or any of the enterprise analytical tools that you have. I think there the role has shifted from can I get the data to a lot of what is the right question to ask, because I will get the analysis. Now, a successful PM now should be able to figure out, is this the right question? Am I asking the right question? Because then answers will come what I ask. So that's one. A lot of the analysis has moved to hours is sort of days. Number one. Number two, now the prototype creation. A lot of work. to be candid, less in my team, but outside uh, our world, is moving directly to prototype stage. Where in my world, it's still mixed. I am pushing the team and they are responding well. But in a matter of few months or years, you will start seeing that people directly move into a prototype stage to compare what should I build. Like, obviously, a lot of people mistake by saying is I don't need to write. Writing is a lot about thinking. When you spend time that hey, this is what I need to build as a PM, you are actually thinking. So the objective is not to shortcut the writing part of it. The objective is to not spend time on the grammar part of it, or like you think what needs to build, you answer the questions on viability, feasibility, in terms of what the consumer desire, is it technically viable or not. However, once you've done that, you don't spend time in trying to make it good for the leadership or execution board. You get it ready. And then you, even if possible, take it to a prototype stage and say, by the way, I'm thinking like this. If you build it like this is how it will look. That has fast track. And you have, in all these cases, you have multiple tools. You can use Claude, you can use Figma Make. There are like plethora of tools available for you to get your job done. That has happened. Then the next setup happened is, and that depends a lot on your organization's code base and code quality. If your code is written well, which is readable by an AI developer, you may as well build the first internal beta of the product there itself. And it's happening, by the way. In our world, we have seen products in search domain, which the PM obviously sat with. So PM was there, designer was there in the room. They sat with the engineering TPM and the like a 5 people sat for 4.5 to 5 hours, and the feature was ready to be internally tested. Obviously, it has gaps. It's still not fully there. You can't just take it out and give it to the consumer. But imagine a world in 5 hours where feature was ready for QA testing and just getting the initial feel of it. So that's happening a lot in your stream. And obviously, then the loop starts happening of analysis and what is it working or not. So you'll see a lot of your work that used to get done, which used to take months, has now constrained to days. Beautiful. Now, what makes a PM successful then? In if this is what the world is about. Two, as I asked this, right, asking the right questions, knowing what to build and knowing what to ask. And second, understanding, because see, all AIs hallucinate. Whether you give it an analysis task, whether you give it a prototype building task, whether you give it, the success will lies how good you are in figuring out if the response is correct, accurate, or there is an issue. And that defines a PM success. PMs who just take the output and say, oh, this is what it is, this is, and start building more, they'll struggle because you're building on a weak foundation. PMs who are able to look at the output and say, okay, no, this seems incorrect, this seems correct, go deeper, and probe, will the foundation will be strong enough that you can build more. So success lies in your ability to find uh, the output, evaluate the output. Some people call it the evals world. Yeah, you can call it the evals world, but you are just the ability to find what the output is and is it good enough or correct or not. So in general, that's the way at least I have seen the world of a PM evolve in the last couple of years. Some roles are way more AI native, some roles are there, but almost all roles are getting impacted in this form.
Thank you. Thanks so much for answering that, Tapojoy. Quite a thought process to build around that as well. My next question, more on the design element because the theme is design. Many product managers are learning AI tools today, but beyond learning the tools, what product design mindset you really think professionals need to develop if they want to build truly AI native products?
So I'll answer it in two fronts. One is what mindset somebody needs to be successful to be a design leader, and then how does the design elements or the thought process needs to adapt for an AI native product. The first one is the universal truth that you need to be really consumer backward. Now, being consumer backward is easy to say. Everybody says, I want to be consumer backward. What does it mean to be consumer backward? I think the answer lies, generally, I've seen, is being very clear of three things. A, what is the functional activity the consumer is performing? Are you helping her in reducing her functional activity? Functional activity could be taps and clicks, and how many taps do I need to get it done? How many taps I need to reach here? Functional activity could be, can I scroll more to get it done? Like, what is the work that needs to be done, and am I reducing it? A lot of people talk about it, and that is great. But there are two more elements beyond this. A, what is the contextual element that your app is getting used? A lot of people miss that. If you are
Yes.
driving a car and you want to use an Audible app, the way you will navigate with the app will be very different than you are on a subway going on a metro train to somewhere else, or you are sitting at a home on your sofa and you're watching it. It's very important for a good designer to understand the context of usage of the app and define then the
Absolutely.
app. For example, in the world of food delivery, we have learned over the years is most people, when they open the app, there is a tinge of hunger. There's a
Yeah.
little bit of hunger already creeping in. People are slightly hungry when they. This is very different from opening an e-commerce app like an Amazon or Flipkart or Walmart or any of that, because in you're not hungry. How does that manifest in consumer behavior? It manifests in consumer behavior where in a world of e-commerce, you look for more options to evaluate. Okay, show me this jeans. Show me one more jeans. Compare the prices of the jeans. You'll do a lot of activity on comparison because you're not in a hurry. You want to see the best option. In food, you're not gonna compare two chicken fingers. You hardly see people saying, okay, this chicken finger is this weight, this chicken finger is this weight. No, you don't do that. Why? Because you're hungry subconsciously. You want to get the food early. You don't want to waste time. And that starts playing role in the design. Compare the menu or detail pages of an e-commerce app versus a food delivery app. E-commerce app has so many options. Customer who bought this also bought this, because you want people to compare. In food, you don't do that. You say this is the menu, add your items to cart, quickly move to checkout. Correct. You don't give this option. So that's the context of usage. It's very, very important. Last is the emotion of usage. A lot of people miss that. A good designer is understands what is the emotional state of the user while she is using the product. Is she happy? Is she looking for ecstasy? Is she sad? Is she frustrated? Because that emotional tonality will decide how you build the product and good. So to me, those are three big elements: emotion, context, and functionality, which, irrespective of being AI native or not, a design leader or a design person needs to be aware of and factor in. Now let's apply that in the world of a product which is all about AI native. A product which is AI native, you have to remember, is generally a probabilistic product, because AI is a probabilistic tool. Whatever you build a chat solution, it's a probabilistic tool. You build a recommended solution, it's a probabilistic tool. Everywhere, it's a probabilistic tool. In a
Yeah.
probabilistic tool, the output can either frustrate a user or wow a user. Are you building for those states? You should not only build for a happy state. You should expect that in certain percentage of cases the tool may falter, the tool may not. Are you building the exception paths where a consumer can take an action if it is not working in your favor? That is important. For example, all of us would have faced chatbots of different companies who people have replaced their customer care with chatbot, but they sometimes fail. They just get stuck in a loop. Are you providing then an exception flow to the consumer to get out of that loop if you're not doing a good job, or you're making them stuck because you thought that only happy path will happen? So that becomes important in an AI native world for a designer. Is, are you handling exceptions? Are you handling just not beyond just happy states?
Thank you. Thank you. Quite detailed and really thought provoking, Tapojoy. Okay. I'm pausing here for a second, for a few seconds over here. I would want the audiences to raise their hands. Okay. We have the first. Azaruddin, let me just quickly unmute you. Okay. You're good to go.
Thank you, Vishal. Hi, Tapojoy. This is Azruddin. So I have slightly a one proactive question. So if AI can increasingly, handle research, analysis, and prioritization, and even sometimes requirements as well. So what should experienced product managers become exceptionally good at? That can AI cannot easily replicate. And being an AI native PM enough to stay differentiated.
Great question. And I see some of this anxiety creeping in with people. See, the way I look at it, AI is helping a PM getting some of the job done, which they would have taken a lot of time. For
Yeah.
example, PM had to do research, as you pointed out, Azuddin. Now that research is getting done faster. But a good PM versus a great PM, the difference will be a great PM is able to look at the research and say how much of it is true, correct, applicable. So A PM who understands the data and can flag what is correct or not is a good PM and a great PM. A PM just who rakes the data and applies is not a good PM. The great PM will stay because they will be able to figure out the actual wheat from the fluff or wheat from the chaff, as we call it, and
mm,
focus on it. Second, AI can give you 15 pages of analysis in your world. But would you present that 15 page of analysis to your CEO, director, VP? Answer is no, because
mm,
people at that leadership have a very small time frame. They want to quickly get a response from you. AI
yeah,
won't be able to do that in most cases. Your job is to distill the quality from that whole big analysis AI has given, and almost like a one paragraph tell your leadership this is what we should do, why we should do it. I'm just giving an example of
yeah,
research because we touched upon research,
mm,
but so that's what the PM's role becomes is of your role becomes a lot better in terms of getting things done, and you become a lot better when you are able to distill information, be a better decision maker, help
mm,
the organization make decisions faster. Your brunt work or your day-to-day operational work gets reduced because AI can help you, but your knowledge work, your thinking work disproportionately improves. So as a good PM, obviously you have to skill yourself of what the AI tools are doing, but you have to also skill yourself of your domain. So good
mm.
PMs who really understand their domain, consumer behavior, industry behavior, they will succeed because rest will be taken care of by AI and they will be able to distill it and influence people faster.
Wow. So that means the domain will be the critical part in in AI native place mostly now, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zaruddin. Anyone else want to go ahead and ask question to the speaker? Then I can move ahead. All right. Okay. Okay. So my next question, I wanted to understand on the challenge perspective, Tapojoy. One challenge many teams face is knowing where AI actually creates value and where it's simply adding complexity. Now, when you are evaluating a product idea, how do you decide whether AI generally improves the user experience?
Beautiful question. And I spoke about it in LinkedIn few months back, maybe. And I use it almost like a three step framework
Hmm.
to arrive at a decision. A, I think the first question you should ask is, see, AI will help you either crunch a lot of data or analyze a lot of things or predict something which would have taken a lot of computation. It's fundamentally a computation fast tracker for you, either an analysis fast tracker or a computation fast tracker. If I put that layer, is the product you're building already needing a lot of computation or not? That's the first question to ask in some form or the other. Or is it reading a lot of operational work where humans are involved, or is it reading a lot of computation work where you need to use a lot of calculations and rules and algorithms, or is it reading a lot of prediction work which you need to? If either of the two is there, that's the first step. Should I even use AI or not? Then the second question is, do I build this API or do I take an external vendor, lease or rent or whatever you may call it, service and do it? That depends on your existing capability. Is that your core service in the system? Is that what your company really creates value? For example, personalization systems in e-commerce is a core service. That's what drives an e-commerce business. So we would try to build it in-house and work on it. But chatbot may not be a core service because that's not what we that, and there are externally available vendors who do a far better job in building those chatbots for us. So the second decision becomes is, do I need to lease it or do I need to build it? Once you've arrived at this decision, in my mind, you should look at it as a two-part framework. Framework number one, we have to always remember AI is again a probabilistic response. It's not a deterministic response. So when it is a probabilistic response, does your tool need 100% accuracy or not? If your tool needs 100% accuracy, it can never be 100% AI dependent. It needs to have a human in the loop or a rule based engine. Let's take an example of medical world.
Yeah.
Yeah, AI can give you medicine recommendations, But is it 100% probabilistic? No, it may make
No.
mistakes, and
Yeah.
and you don't want that situation in your life. So your final decision always has to be a human in the loop, in the
Yeah.
sense. So those, if you're similarly, it's called invoice generation. As a company, you are generating invoices for multiple clients, or you're getting invoices from multiple vendors, and you need to create your ledger and accounting. It can't go wrong, because if it goes wrong, nobody will even know it has gone wrong, and suddenly 1 year down the line, when an auditor comes, your whole thing will start collapsing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So cases where you need 100% accuracy, it's always going to be AI assisted but human decided
But human
as a
decided.
system.
Yep. Yep.
So that's one. You dis- Second cases where things can be probabilistic. It's fine if you make that one or two mistake here and there in the world. For example, chatbot can be it's fine, it can make mistakes. Personalization layers can make mistakes. Email recommender can make mistakes. It's not the end of the world for you. Those can be fully AI led, and human can do metric evaluation of them. Like, you define your metrics of how the AI is performing, and the human can start checking the metrics. Is the metrics going correct? If the metrics is not going correct enough, or you're seeing a delta in your MAU or area under the curve, or any of that metrics you track, then you go back up, improve the model, work on the model, and you fast track. So that's what I call this primarily AI decided, human monitored systems
Yep.
in this case. So these two becomes a decision making framework. When I say the first one is, do I even need an AI? That depends on what is there an operational or a computational or a recommendation layer. If the answer is yes, decide whether it has to be completely AI decided, AI deployed, human monitored, or is it going to be AI assisted and then human decided structure in your products, and that can help you form an opinion in where should it lie.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tapojoy. Folks, any questions from anyone over here? We have the last 10 minutes, by the way. And I have two questions to ask to Tapojoy, then I can wind up the session. So before that, anyone who wants to raise their hand and probably understand more on the expects of more on the questions on the design expects, more on the questions on design and product manager expect, how to understand it can be any, we won't judge in terms of any questions asked. Go ahead, raise your hands, and I can quickly unmute you. If not, then we can have the last two questions. Okay, Jay Sagar. Okay, Jay Sagar, you are. Why can't I see you? Oh, go ahead, Jay Sagar.
Hi, Tapojoy. I
Hi,
just
Jay. Hi.
had a question of the design aspects. So, because AI has come, like a lot of designs are being created, but the problem what I've observed is it's very same. It's like the prompt and everything is being the same. And now everyone is also dependent on the design. So whenever they create, you see that the basic framework is all the same with few add-ons that's there to make it unique. But how do we differentiate that main aspect now that AI is here?
Beautiful question, and it's a problem which a lot of organizations face, who do not distinguish between design systems and the
Yeah.
UX that is getting applied to customer. The way I look at it is, your design systems, your library that you create, a lot of time
Mhm.
decides your aesthetic uniqueness as an organization. This is what my buttons are. This is what my share looks like. This is what my navigation patterns are. Ideally, you should put a lot of effort, and it's a mixed match of AI and human usage to arrive at your design systems, because they will decide what it looks like to the consumer, uh, and that will decide whether you look different or same. Now, applying those design systems and creating the final UX, that AI can do a far better job, because it knows where to apply a share button, where to apply navigation patterns, where to do scroll, because it knows all of this. So if you do not do a good job of design system differentiation, AI will just going to give you same experience again and again and again. But if you do a great job of really articulating and defining your design systems well, your artifacts in a library very well, then AI will take that. It will still build a navigation param, but it will do it in your own elements. that you have created, and those elements will differentiate you. Now, that is helpful. However, beyond this, if you are trying to create a completely new form of a consumer navigation pattern, which said nobody has done, then yes, that's what me and you are here for. We in the end, design and product management is a combination of art and science. I always say it. It has enough creativity. It's a little bit like a movie creation. There's so many processes, but people can make a good movie, still you may not love it because it just didn't gel well. It didn't feel well. Same is with a good product and a design. If it has to feel, and that's where the human element comes in. And generally, I've seen the human element comes better when it's thought through and designed. Use your AI. It will obviously, it's a tool which is going to reuse stuff which is already there.
Yes.
Try to differentiate using the systems that you have. But great question.
Thank you. Just one more question. Like, how do you improve your creativity from that point of view? Like, is there any things that you follow or anything?
I all my most of the innovations that I have done or I've seen in this world
Mhm.
generally comes from applying something from another industry to my industry. Like,
Okay.
if you notice the history of the world, or innovation, if you go, and I think it's not me, it's Jeff Bezos, I think, says it, or somebody else says it, is there are large innovations, great innovations. Okay, somebody invented rocket, somebody invented internet, somebody that's but most of the work people do what we call are incremental innovations. And the
Mhm.
incremental innovation generally comes when you take up something which is working in some sector and apply it in some other sector. Generally, that has been the rule and policy. If it, so, what I try and do, at least in my world, is try to observe what is happening somewhere else. For example, if I'm driving a car, how is the car dashboard looking to me? How are they navigating? How is there something I can pick up from there which helps me my mobile experience there? I pick up a lot from mobile gaming and video gaming. To be honest, video games and mobile games are extremely good in picking up cues of what a
Mm.
consumer will like in your mobile app, because generally mobile gaming users are very power users. They are using it for many hours in a day. So if they are getting comfortable with it, with a pattern, there's high chance your power users will also start getting comfortable with that pattern. So find out industries where you can see what is working, specifically if they have a similar kind of consumer base or usage pattern, and leverage from there. Like, that has really worked for me. I Most of my team's innovations, or whatever we've done, have come from something like this, where we picked up something which is working somewhere else and said, why don't we apply
Mm.
here and make it work here? But great question.
Got it. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you so much, Sagar. Actually, Tapajoy, there's one question in the chat box, and I would like to say Ekta has asked, there are times when to get a basic button or text change in the design. Many a times it takes too many iterations which cost more time than when it was being done manually. It's not more like a question, it's more like a thought in that way. Any inputs over here, Tapajoy?
Oh, it's not just design. You see it in uh, AI development as well. I'll give an example. We were playing around with our merchant portal, and we were building using AI, and the team was there. This happened last month.
Hmm.
We built it, but the tool is such that even to change a configuration in that tool, you literally have to prompt it and do it. You can't just go and directly make a change. So it's a we my understanding is that frustration is real. That frustration happens because those the world is still building those builder tools, if that's the right way to put it, AI based builder tools, and it's happening in design as well. It Give it a few months. I'm already seeing some beta versions of tools which is allowing you to prompt, then directly change. It's just the underlying architecture is so complex to do to allow dual side of changing, because the moment you change something, the AI has to go back and read what you have changed and then configure it back. And that's why it's taking time. It's just a matter of time, probably a year, when you'll see most of your tools will allow runtime editing and not just prompt based editing. But I get the frustration. My design team has the frustration. My product and engineering team has the same frustration. They're like, I just want to change this color. Why I have to prompt the whole thing again and again?
Okay, guys, I'm seeing a lot of questions in the Q&A box. Folks, please raise your hand. You can directly ask the question to Tapojoy. Yasha has a question. Nandini has a question. Guys, please raise your hand. Thank you. Oh, you got it, Yasha. Please go ahead.
Yes, so Tapojoy, actually, my question is that what are the key, sorry, when we are building an AI native product for something as human and subjective as emotional well being, how to evaluate whether the AI is genuinely creating value rather than simply producing something that feels convincing?
That goes back to the old world of how do you test it. I mean, AI can't test it in front of a customer. The way we do it is we build the prototypes and then we do a very traditional user research. Like literally give it to a consumer. Like for example, we make some changes in the mobile app. We're gonna give it to the consumer and just observe what she's doing, how she's scrolling, how she's tapping, like very traditional user research. We may use AI to record that session, and the AI can respond as a transcript of the session, but it's like very old human observing another human doing the activity. That's one. And then your metrics. If you are directly making live something in your app, how good you have defined your success metrics will decide. For example, what is consumer frustration? Consumer frustration generally happens when either she reaches a dead end or she's stuck in a screen for a long time. So your metric becomes time spent in a page, or she's pressing a lot of back buttons. Your metric becomes number of back buttons pressed. So figure out what I call these defect metrics in your experiment and start tracking them from the launch, and you'll be able to do it. So it's very old school. AI can help you create the dashboard of the metrics, but you will have to observe it. You will have to do the user research. There's no better way. At least I am not aware of any better way till now. But great question.
Thank you.
Nandini, go ahead.
Hey, hi Tapojoy. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hey,
Absolutely.
hi.
Loud and clear.
Yes. So, what are some of the key things that can go wrong when we are building and launching an AI product? And as a product manager, how we can proactively plan for that so that the team is prepared when those issue arises. So I have heard it from many people, many organizations saying that means product managers are there, but when a real problem comes up, they stumble.
Yeah. I think different people use different words, but when you're doing something with AI, and I repeat the word because it's a probabilistic tool, if and it will make mistakes, your quality check. It's a sorry for the repeated use of the words. Your quality of QA and your exhaustiveness of the testing that you do will decide your success. Number one, uh, expect to have disproportionately more bugs in the system when you are building something which is based on QA. And hi- historical QA has been okay. Let's take this different types of devices. Let's see how the navigation works. Everything. That's okay. That's good. But when you're building a recommender tool or an AI based tool or you need to have a lot of evaluation done on the output. Is it correct or not? And it doesn't end with the launch. You'll have to build your processes to keep auditing and checking and create matrix to say if it is working. For example, my team in search is a heavily AI based service. It recommends something to the consumer now, but can I manually check all the search keywords? No, not possible. It's just so high and so fragmented. So what do? We build matrix. What could be a metric? Metric is how many people, what we called is reformulation rate. How many people typed something, didn't like it, and they typed again. Reformulation is a defect metric because they had to type again. Similarly, uh, first search click is a success metric. How many people found something in that first four results that they found? uh, Rank of the results. So define your matrix, which will define whether you are a defective or a good product across the board, and start tracking end to end. And after that, you really use a lot of brute force to go detail and correct. Last comment, you point about how a PM starts struggling if something goes wrong. That a lot of time depends on how good you are in the measurement pipeline building. Have you built, see, how does data come? Data comes in a software when somebody builds these event signals. Oh, click has happened, event. Type has happened, event. How good and exhaustive those event signals are in your product and engineering will decide how good you are in measuring if it is working fine or not. A lot of people put measurement systems as an afterthought. What I have
Right.
learned the hard way is measurement system has to come the day you get a launch. It can't come 10 days after a launch. And if your PM's PRD or your PRD is not defining what my measurement system is going to be, this is what my 10 metrics going to be, then you'll
Right.
start struggling later. You'll be absolutely blind of what you are building. So that is what I've learned the hard way is ensure your measurement systems, ensure your data details, ensure your metrics are live right from the first day of the launch, and they're exhausted. That'll go a long way in tracking, diagnosing, and solving the problem.
Thank you so much, Tapojoy.
Thank you, Nandini.
Thank you so much. Tapoja, we'll take one last question and then we can I due to the shortage of time, it's already 9:24 at IST in that way. So Ekta, did you get the chance to ask the question? She has asked in the in the Q&A box, Tapojoy, I am working in a fintech company. We are also using AI and I'm creating personal portfolio for AI products as well. Still, I'm not able to convince recruiters to hire me in an AI space. How do you think about it, Tapojoy? Yeah.
It's a hard. I think what is happening is there are two things happening. Economically, the number of jobs available has stagnated a bit. And
Yes.
so a lot of times I meet people who are saying, "Hey, I used to get interview calls earlier. Why is it not happening?" It's not you. It's generally the economy. It's the situation which is making it harder. Number one. Now, if I put a lens of a recruiter, what does a recruiter do when they look for CVs? They look for in that 30 second that they will glance through your portfolio or CV, they will look for surrogate signals to tell this person can deliver in the environment that we are in and there. So the what I've seen work is either the surrogate signals are your pedigree, what you've done, your education, or the companies have it great. But most people, it's hard to create a pedigree like that. What about the others? I think what I really found working is if you don't have pedigree or there are many people in the loop who have pedigree, find projects or list projects which are very in sync with what the company is trying to do. Like do a little bit of research. For example, you are trying to apply with Wonder Group or Grubhub in food delivery. What is our focus? Our focus is operator efficiency of the delivery, dispatch, search algorithms, personalization algorithms, kitchen optimization logic. When a recruiter will go to the CV, she'll start looking, has this person done anything in those worlds? They look for those projects. So it will not help if you're applying, say, for a Wonder and a lot of your AI work is in the world of finance. It will not. Even if you've done finance and if you've done a fabulous job, the recruiter in the 30-second will look at two profiles and say, this profile seems to have done something on search, exactly what I'm looking for. This not. Let me punt on the one because it's a less risky bet than the other one. So try and morph or update your CV and do projects if you're doing personal portfolio in tune with what the company is keen to solve right now. It is a company to company resume. The old world of a standard resume won't work because people you have to morph it. You have to update yourself to what the company you're applying for.
Fantastic insights, Tapojoy. I have been hearing a lot of things across resume thing, and especially I'm sure that you have knowing Pinkesh as well. Pinkesh speaks every time in that process that in today's world, resume hiring is dead. You're not building you're not showcasing your demonstrable skill sets. You're not building your AI portfolio. It's riskier in that way. Resume hiring is dead. All right, that brings us to the end of the session, Tapoja. Thank you so much. It was really lovely knowing to get a lot of insights across this domain in that way, and I'm sure that the audiences also love it. Let me just quickly go back and share my screen. Uh, all right. Thank you so much, Tapoja. This is a small token of appreciation from our side, from Product Leaders Forum and Institute of Product Leadership. Please accept this. I'll definitely share a soft copy to you. Certificate of appreciation for your amazing insights on today at the Global Product Leadership Festival 2026. Sorry.
No, and thank you, Vishal, for having me. Loved the conversation, loved the question. Say, Nandini asked, Isha asked, Azharuddin asked. So, thanks all of you for taking time